Okay. Hey. Oh, 2002, 25th of the 11th. Pretty crazy life we live, huh? Life is insane. Anyway, I made this video because I feel like I want to speak about some stuff that really needs to be spoken about. So that it needs to be spoken about. It's like I feel like I want to speak about it. What am I saying? It does need to be spoken about. What am I actually saying? So currently, right now, we find ourselves in November the 25th of 2022. And we're in a very weird position in terms of society and culture and what's just happened. You know, the lockdowns and all of that sort of thing. And I feel a little bit weird speaking about what I want to speak about. But it's like, I don't want to. I'm so tired of people. It's so fucked. The world we live in is so fucked. Like, all the liars get given a platform. Basically, like all Hollywood, media, fucking, even so, these social media fucking people that pop up out of nowhere and literally start influencing the whole entire world out of nowhere. They're all liars, actually. Like, they're all fucking liars. Like, the amount of people who are liars on media platforms, including the internet, is fucking profound. And I've sat and I've listened to many people. At times, some of the stuff they seem quite believable. And some of the times I fell for it. But after I've been through what I've been through and seen what I've seen, I know what's a lie and what isn't. And I had to go through this hectic process and come out of it and then basically be like, yeah, all these people are fucking lying. The churches, the fucking spiritualists, the fuck, you name it. Like, all our media is full of lies and deception. Like, all of our information is based on deception and lies. And a lot of people are not going to want to hear that. They're not going to want to hear that because it completely destroys your worldview. Like, look at the Bible, for instance. Like, I believe in God, but I don't believe God is what people think God is at all. I don't, after what I've been through. I believe in goodness. I believe in eternity, so forth and so on. Simple concepts, not something I need to write a whole freaking religion about. I do believe in one God, totally. But the thing is that, like, based on what I've learned about God and Holy Spirit, which is God, all reality, and pure divinity itself, I basically learned that, like, all this information we've been born into is all based on deception, which is based on a very low operating form of consciousness. Like, you can't expect to believe humans or any of the contents found within the society of those humans, because whatever artifact, whether it's the Bible or any record or context, it comes from a lower state of consciousness and exists within a realm that is currently subjected towards limitations provided by that lower set of consciousness. So, to give you an idea, like, there's a lot of concepts in the Bible that don't make sense to me, like, based on what it is that I know about God and so forth and so on. It's just really, actually, it makes no sense to me at all. One of the big things is, like, nature is important. Like, there's no mention of nature and protecting the earth and looking after animals and so forth and so on in the Bible at all. But when I look at an animal, it's like I'm looking at God, the Spirit of God, right there in front of me. I learn more from animals than I learn from humans. Animals behave better than humans, way better. So, as far as I'm concerned, they're far more godly than any human I've ever seen. I'm going to be so totally honest with you. And I've seen a lot of self-proclaimed godly fucking humans. It's never really the extreme of it. But all they are in the end is self-righteous, narcissistic, fucking delusional people. And we live in, it's a narcissistic religion. It really is. They're all narcissistic. Yeah, don't get me wrong, there's beautiful things in it. Like the story of Jesus basically giving up his life to save people. But, which is a great story on paper, but based on what I've seen, like, it doesn't really make sense to me. Like, I'm in a position where it's like, what do I believe? And every single one of my beliefs have been broken and destroyed by going into a rabbit hole, many rabbit holes in which I've been into, and have seen that based on what I've seen, in terms of reality, I come back from these dimensional experiences and I'm like, reality is not what people say it is. And then you walk away with these life experiences and then you start looking at information in the Bible and it's like, it doesn't add up here. There's something wrong here. So, like for instance, like the 12 tribes of Judah, like you're all fucking human, number one. You're all human. 12 tribes, God's chosen people, Israel. Okay, so God makes a whole entire creation and then he has a specific chosen few who are somehow predeterminedly chosen before birth. Like, do you realize how much this doesn't make any sense? Like, it's just tribalism and paganism. Like, Christianity is such a pagan religion. It's ridiculous. It's based on rituals, based on sacrifices. And I'm going to say rituals, I mean like, like Easter, fucking Christmas, whatever that is supposed to be, and all these other things. Humans are so fucking tribal, it's ridiculous. Like each religion is like some sort of tribal construct. So I don't know if I trust any more book written 2,000 years ago, is what I'm trying to say. Because in my mind, it's like, he's like, no. Don't get me wrong, I believe in God, but I don't believe in God in the way in which it is that God is portrayed in the Bible, is what I'm saying. And I've had many questions that I've had to ask myself, quite honestly. Based on what I've seen within regards to reality, all I'm looking at are boxes and constructs. Bible is literally a black box that is ultimately a book. A book looks like a fucking VHS with paper pages. They're books, man, they're stories. What does a Bible or a religious book have in common with a VHS cover and video inside? Well, they're both stories. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a story where someone can sacrifice themselves to save others. But then I ask myself the question is like, why did he have to get sacrificed? Like, I don't get it. That doesn't make sense in my head. Like, if I was Christ's father, why the fuck would I send him down to earth to get sacrificed? I'd never do that. If I was an all-powerful God, I would have fixed the situation very quickly without anybody needing to be sacrificed. Look, his sacrifice wasn't in vain because it taught people to have hope. It taught me to have hope. Now I'm going to see it for what it is. So it's not like I haven't benefited from Christianity. But what I'm doing is I'm just exploring some thoughts in my own mind. Anyway, and in doing so, it's making me a lot more laid back. Like Christianity is a fucking judgmental religion, and the people who advocate Christianity, that push Christianity, that are self-proclaimed devout Christians, are actually the most judgmental people ever. So I don't think the Bible's fucking holy. I mean, I think it's got some holy stuff in it, or hole is in the hole. But honestly, like, the Bible is not perfect at all. It's so far from perfect. If it had been perfect, um, Christians wouldn't be the most judgmental motherfuckers on the whole entire earth, basically. And of course, it's not only Christians, but the point is, it's tribalism at the end of the day. The Christianity tribe. Now, I believe in one God. Absolutely. Conceptually, consciously speaking, I believe we're all in the mind of God, and I believe He's a living God. But I believe we'll see Him. But based on what I've seen, reality is not so stringent as we've been taught to believe in such a dense life we've come into. The density within the life shows that the consciousness is not free flowing. So anything within that history, timeline, artifacts, whatever, would be mirror-based reflections of the level as to which the consciousness has been enlightened. And that would determine within consciousness what inspiration or so forth and so on people have had or seen, or what has been their interpretation of reality and God, and so forth and so on. So what I'm saying is basically, like, the consciousness has never been as high as it is now in order to fully be able to conceptualize the reality of God in a way that is not so stringent and based in past heaviness. I mean, Christianity is great because, I thought it would get people to do the right thing, and it does. So there is positives from it. It gets people to be humble, to do the right thing. So on that front, it's good. Love and be kind and love your neighbor. It is good. But it comes with this cancer, which I believe has been interrupted and distorted by man throughout time. I mean, if we're looking at the Bible, realistically speaking, it was a book written by multiple various people, okay, that we have no proof of. I have no proof. I mean, I can go on the internet, I can read something to you. I have so many claims, but not enough proof. So on the one hand, it's like, this is a great book. This is really good insight. It's very good to know of heaven. But on the other end, it's like, there's so many perspectives to look at this double-edged sword. Because on the other end, it's like, this book's basically telling me, like, I should just be happy and content with my life right now as it is, and that I should just focus on being good in this life so that when I fucking die, I will get to go to someplace, heaven, I've never seen before. My whole thing is like, it's a book preparing people for death, so much so that they don't even feel alive. They don't even live their life how they should. They don't even express themselves, the beauty of their uniqueness within their own character, because they're too busy judging themselves. As far as I'm concerned, if I was God, I wouldn't condemn people if they didn't know about me and there was no way for them to know about me. I would never do that. And if I found them, then I'd teach them. But I would never demand worship. I'm just putting myself in this perspective, because I've been in so much debate in my mind, looking at it from all angles, and these are some of the angles I've been covering. It's like, if I was God, it's like, like I wouldn't hate people if they didn't believe in me because their life didn't bring them to, you know? And I wouldn't condemn them to eternal hell. In fact, if I was God, hell wouldn't exist. There would be no hell. Because hell is an absolute and total redundancy. Why would I want to take evil people and go put them in some subconscious, parapsychological, eternal, metaphysical / physical prison in the back of mine and everyone else's mind when it's like you can just erase them from existence? So hell is a complete and total redundancy for me. It makes no sense at all. I believe that the devil and Satan it's a huge story, guys. I'm sorry. There's no devil, there's no Satan. The Bible doesn't add up for me. I'm sorry. This whole fight between Lucifer and Jesus and Satan and God. Where the fuck is Lucifer? Where is Jesus? Where is Satan? Where is God? I mean, God's all around me. God's inside me. But the way I experience God is not through man. I experience God through myself. And my whole thing is, I've seen a lot of places. I've seen things people would never even believe would exist. And in all my travels, I can guarantee you now, demons and Satan does not exist at all. You know, it's like Satan is this like mythological, fictional concept that people have been scapegoating for all eternity. Actually, it's so fucked up, actually, guys. Like the whole Bible basically says, like we are subjected towards sin and we are basically born corrupted in the flesh, and therefore we cannot. It's such bullshit. Like that's such shit. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to go ahead and I'm gonna have to actually pull out Christianity right now for a second. I'm sorry. So you're telling me that these beings that are born from the Holy Spirit are all of a sudden rendered corrupted because of their flesh. So immediately what that child is learning, the second that child learns that, is that, oh, I'm worthless and I'm invaluable and my flesh and my existence as a mortal is completely corrupted. And if I want to feel good or feel like I have the permission or ability to feel good, like it's so fucked up that we're teaching kids this, actually. No wonder people are fucking depressed. No wonder people are losing their minds. Like, you're immediately telling someone that from the moment they're born, it's like, you're fucking worthless, you're full of sin, and without God, you're nothing. Do you really think God would want to make you feel that way? No. This is humans. This is a control fucking cult. It's a cult. Christianity cult. There you go. It's a fucking cult. Holy shit. Just like every other cult out there, whether it's New Agers, spiritualists, they're all fucking cults. Because humans are so tribal. Of course they're going to develop a fucking religion. You're going to develop multiple religions. They're fucking tribal. And then, of course, they're going to say, my religion's real, yours is fake. And, like, you see it now today. It's like this whole, like, gender identity bullshit that people are going through in America and whatever. That is just like a super accentuated version of the extreme level of judgment and condemnation outlined in the Bible. It's just like, it's like a mirror resonant reflection of many of the viewpoints and ideologies expressed within the Bible. And the other thing is, like, the Bible, like, it doesn't give practical advice at all, you know? Like, one of Moses' laws is like, thou shalt not kill. It's like, well, what if you have to? What if people are trying to fucking kill animals unfairly, unjustly? What if they're trying to kill people you can save and you have the ability to save someone, but you have to kill someone? Or save people, but you've got to kill people. So now all of a sudden, it's like we're in this moral conundrum. We live on this earth with evil fucking people that basically want to go ahead and God knows what. I don't even have to tell you. And now all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, we actually can't stand up and we can't do anything because we have to wait for Jesus to basically come save us. And it's funny because the Bible doesn't believe in reincarnation. I don't believe in reincarnation either, but it speaks about the second coming of Christ, which is like It's just so many contradictions in the Bible. I'm sorry. Taught me how to be a good man. Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth. I'm not completely disregarding it. I do believe the Son of Man will come. I do believe there's the Most High. But I just don't believe humans have got it right. I mean, if they had, and all the knowledge that was necessary was there, we would not be in the situation it is that we're in now. I can guarantee that right now. Anyway, enough about the religious talk. Let's go into some more relevant stuff. But so, what we have happening on Earth now, and I respect your beliefs as well, right? I just want to let you know I respect your beliefs. I'm just expressing my own beliefs, okay? But I'm in a position where it's like, listen, I've been places, I've seen things, I've died, I've been to so-called hell, which is ultimately the road to nowhere. I've seen stuff that's blown my mind and destroyed my mind. And the reason it destroyed my mind is because the events that I went through completely destroyed every single one of my previously held preconceived beliefs, which many of them were rooted within Christianity. And, reading the Bible to try to save myself from that harrowing situation, it destroyed my mind further. So, like, why did my mind get destroyed from reading the Bible? How good is that book if I was reading it and it like fucking destroyed my mind? It's bipolar madness. It's 2 columns of a page in a book. The one column is sweet, peaceful stuff. The other one is fearful stuff. Like it just sounds like the biggest conniving, manipulative relationship between. It's like, no, I'm sorry, there's no proof of this, guys. So you're telling me that guys over history, over many years, they had their own interpretation with God because of their dream and their vision. And then somehow they decided to put it in a book. And then you look at the Bible itself and the history with Catholicism and where the Bible actually came from and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, this book was written by men. This book wasn't written by God. And that's the biggest thing I had to learn to save my fucking mind from peril. And then I'd learned. It's like, listen, this Bible's not good. If it was good, in a time of need, while I was reading it, it shouldn't have fucking destroyed my mind and basically led me to believe I'm the most shittest fucking human being in the... No, sorry, it doesn't work. And I know it doesn't work because since I've grown up and come into this world, I've been living around judgmental fucking Christians continually. And I'm not saying Christians are bad people. They're good. But to be honest with you, I see very few righteous people on this earth. They're far and few. And they're definitely not the vast majority of Christians I've met. So I actually met very few, like maybe poorer people who are Christian are the best. But like middle class and upper class, it's just a total shit show. It's just it's like a self-righteous, judgmental, fucking ideological warfare shit show where everyone is so totally fucking depressed. They don't know why. And they're all judging each other and ultimately doing whatever deplorable shit it is that they want to, and ultimately cleaning their consciousness with this idea that no matter what the fuck it is that they do, it's the sin within me that I cannot change. I cannot change the sin because I was born with sin. Okay, well, first of all, what the fuck is sin, first of all, right? Because after everything I've been through, morally, I came to a simple conclusion in terms of my moral code. And my moral code is as simple as this. Are they evil or are they good? Like, do they hurt innocent people? And are they causing damage to others? Like suffering and pain? They're evil. So sin then, for me, becomes quite irrelevant. Like what is sin? So you had sex with someone. Oh, you're not supposed to have sex before fucking marriage. What, did God come down and tell people that? Did God design the ring and get the consumer market to invest all their time and energy into diamonds? Did God do that? you know, sure, all things are created through God, within God. But to me, it sounds like humans did all of that. So, the point that I'm making is that on Earth, nobody knows what the fuck it is that they're speaking about. And they've got some sort of doctrine or book or something. Like I'm basically analyzing all of Earth and humans. Basically, everyone uses like some sort of book or religion or group or ideology or community, and it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's esoteric community, philosophical, whether it is people who are obsessed with a celebrity, whether it's people who are obsessed with sci-fi stuff, whether it's people who are obsessed with music, whatever it is that they say makes them tick, whatever it is that they use to identify themselves within this world that is we live in. At the end of the day, they're all doctrines, they're all ideological. It's so fucked. Like the whole world is pigeonholed, and like religion's a pigeonhole, like popular culture and all the elements within that a pigeonhole. It's like I don't know how to say this, but the world's fucking crazy. It's insane. I went to the UK once, and I met my supposed biological grandmother. I met her, and it was in Birmingham, and I remember her saying that, we let out because there were like some crazy-ish looking people walking around, and she told me, she was like, there used to be a mental asylum here, but the government decided to just let all the people out and walk free. So when I was going through hell and stuff and going through craziness myself, I remembered that, and it was like a anchoring thought for me, because I was trying to contextualize why it is that humans are the way it is that they are. I just could not understand it. I'm like, why are they so thick as pig shit, to be totally honest with you? Like, I love humans, don't get me wrong. A lot of humans have been subjected towards fear, poverty, and shitty situations, right? But at the end of the day, and also like in Africa, I love African people more than anything. But I love all people. I don't have a certain disposition to another race or this or that. So the whole biblical idea of 12 tribes and fucking Chinese people coming from aliens, and it's just like, oh my God, no wonder this world's so fucking crazy, because people are so compartmentalized and tribalistic within their ideologies and the overall communities in which it is that they belong to. Um, so it's weird. It's fucking weird. So I look at humans. I don't look at African people this way, because for me, there's a special place. And I'm not talking about like African people around the world, like African American. I'm talking about African people, particularly in poorer rural areas. There's just something like this dear-hearted energy. But don't get me wrong, all people are full of shit. Fucking, there's Africans that are full of shit. You know what I mean? There's people in all sorts of races that are full of shit. But the point that I'm making is like, humans think they're so smart. Like, they think they're so fucking smart. Like, and with all this new age shit and all this motivational talk, and it's like, you're the best and you're a god and you can do whatever it is that you set your mind to, and blah 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 blah. That's just dangerous, because this is fucking dangerous, because people start getting these extremely inflated senses of self-importance and superiority, and then they find it their job to become the new Jesus, like I did, to be honest. Everything I'm saying to you, I've done. This is why I can speak on it because I experienced it, and looking in hindsight, I'm like, like I ain't here to be worshipped by fucking nobody. But what I'm saying is, like, we have all these motherfucking, everyone is a fucking super intelligent genius. Like, that's the culture now. The culture is like, oh, I'm fucking awesome, and I know what's going on, and I have all the answers. And it's like, no, you don't have all the fucking answers. Shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down. Let's be honest. You don't have the answers. I don't have the answers. Nobody's got the fucking answers. Okay. So don't come here and fucking pretend like you fucking know everything. You don't know shit. You don't. Because I can speak to you and you can tell me about this book and and then I'm gonna say prove it. And then you'd be like, I can't prove it. And you tell me about all these concepts, these ideologies, this thing that some psychologist has thought about, or some spiritualist and blah 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 da 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 da. And all they are different religions. Okay, some are religions that you don't even know is a fucking religion. They're hiding. You know, like for instance, these spiritual groups and all of these ideologies and beliefs. Oh, the Palladians and the Arcturians and the blah blah blah. Shut the fuck up. Prove to me. Shut up. You live on Earth right now. As far as I'm concerned, in 30 years of living, I've only seen fucking human faces. Okay, I've seen other stuff as well, like stuff I'm not going to go into in other dimensions and shit. But the point is that you live on Earth. You're not a fucking alien. You don't live on a fucking alien planet. You don't know if a fucking alien planet exists. You don't even know if space exists, actually. You don't fucking have any fucking idea. So, you know, and then we get these whole communities of this ideology and literal religious belief systems which are being presented to people and basically giving extremely fucking distorted viewpoints of what reality is and how it fucking works. It's fucking dangerous. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Not only is it dangerous, it breeds it breeds I don't want to say narcissistic tendencies, but it does. Like you can't go and just speak to someone about some normal fucking shit these days. Or just have fun and laugh and just fucking be childish. Like for me, you know, I swear a lot because it's so stupid. Even what I'm saying is so fucking dumb right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Even me getting worked up over this shit is stupid. It's fucking dumb. Like once you realize the hypocrisy of everyone and everything, you feel like a little worm wriggling out of a cocoon, hoping that once you get that breath of fresh air, you're on the other side of endless insanity. Because that's what Earth feels like. It feels like endless insanity of just a whole bunch of talking heads telling you what to believe, telling you what to think, and it's enough to make anyone go fucking crazy. So, you know, I would see why people would get schizophrenia. I would see why people would get mental disorders and so forth and so on, because the world's fucking crazy. I'm surprised the whole planet is not basically in mental rehabilitation, to be totally honest with you. And of course, we have to blame always the governments, the monarchs, the people behind this way of life it is that humans are currently living right now. The ones that are perpetuating it, the influencers, the real talking heads that are actually fucking all of us over and making us all fucking stupid and crazy. Because every day we are subjected to having to listen to one of these motherfucking idiots. One of them. Somebody who's telling you that they know the gospel truth and can't give you any proof, by the way. He said, oh, just believe, just have faith. Oh, how about you shut the fuck up? Okay, because they're coming to you, they're giving you fucking advice because they think they've figured it all out. It's like, listen, I can take a fucking gun, shoot you in the fucking head. You're not immortal. Do you understand what I'm saying? I could fucking put a knife into you, you'll die. You have flesh, blood and bones, just like everyone else. So where does this extremely inflated false sense of omnipotence come from within people? Because as far as I'm concerned, we have a whole lot of people claiming a whole lot of stuff, but we have no proof of anything. The world's still fucked. The world's currently in the situation it's in. Listen, if anyone actually knew what the fuck was going on, then we wouldn't be in the situation that it is that we're in now. You know, my life's completely changed. I've got completely different objectives right now, you know, and I'm not going to speak about those objectives because it's better if I don't. Because I might get into trouble, put it that way. Not that I care about trouble. I couldn't really give two shits, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. The point that I'm making is we're in insanity, but like, where did the insanity come from? Well, our culture, our religion, and the situations that transpired within the past, you know? And most importantly, greed and envy. Now, these emotions, you know, it says that in the Bible, we're bound to sin. It's like, what do you mean we're bound to sin? It's like the devil / Satan is the most scapegoated character in all of that doesn't exist. Fictional character, by the way, but fictionally speaking, the devil is the most scapegoated character ever, because everyone blames all their shit and they blame everything that's happening on earth on the fucking devil. They either blame it on the devil or God, one or the other. But it's like, no, guys. Let's have a good, hard, honest look at this. And let's see, guys, that our ideology and our culture and the structure in which it is that it's in is fucking, it's evil. You know, it's evil. I mean, like when I was born, I had clean, fresh consciousness. And as soon as TV started becoming more accessible, well, that's when the so-called sin came in. Because I had a bunch of fucking idiots forming my worldview, telling me how reality is and what it is that I gotta believe without telling me what it is I gotta believe. So skipping ahead, I just like everyone on this earth have been fed false, lower expressions of consciousness, manifesting in all this shit. TV, music, sports, events, whatever the fuck. The culture that is directly affected by all of those things. And then all of a sudden, Hollywood's in your fucking school, bruh. Hollywood's in your home. Hollywood's at some fucking barbecue or braai or whatever. Because it's this invasive ideology portrayed by really mentally sick people. And ultimately, what it is that I'm saying is that every single one we've ever seen on a TV, heard on the radio, and even seen on YouTube, they're all sick in the fucking head. But on the one end, you'll say, well, you know, that's not an excuse. I agree, it's not a fucking excuse at all. They're sick because they chose to make themselves sick. You know, at the end of the day, everyone's moving on with their stuff as though they're forgetting, and I'm going to say it out here. It's not like anyone watches these fucking videos anyway, but I'm going to say it anyway. By the way, who's watching? How are you doing? They're still trying to commit mass genocide on the earth. But the thing is that they're very scared. They're very scared. I mean, I would be. If I created a long-term campaign towards this new world order, and I went ahead and basically try to reduce the world population and implement new laws and ultimately create a unification of power, and I went ahead and started vaccinating the whole world in order to achieve that. And basically what's happened is, sadly and unfortunately, many people have died as a result of that. If I knew, like, whether I was Fauci or Trump or any of these celebrities or politicians or policymakers or even bankers going all the way to aristocracies and monarchs and so forth and so on, I'd be very worried right now. I'd be very worried. The reason I'd be very worried is because their plan failed miserably. And it's actually resulted in the development of a multipolar new world order. I mean, sure, the Rothschilds and the Federal Reserve and but the thing is that what they forgot to take into consideration is that all of their buddies and them themselves are very greedy. And humans are exceptionally egotistical and exceptionally greedy. So people are going to try to take each other out and try to retain power. You know? So it's a fuck up. Listen, they fucked up so badly. Whether there's a multipolar new world order in the making or whatever it is, they fucked up badly. Their calculations were completely inaccurate. And they planned for so long. They planned for long. They planned this thing for ages. And it's fucking backfired in their face so hard. Like, what did you expect? Like, they really thought humans are so fucking stupid and scared and passive and naive that they will do nothing. That's right, to a certain extent, to a certain degree, but it's not a constant. It's not a given. They can warm up to alternative ideas at any moment in time as their consciousness and the story of their life evolves, progresses, and develops. You know, they didn't take. You see, they looked at a whole lot of variables within their simulations that they ran and their mock-up events in order to get an idea of how it is that humans would respond to such an exceptionally ambitious plan of world domination and fucking, quite frankly, genocide. Straight up genocide. It's just genocide. Like, it's fucked up to think that currently right now, like, there's genocide like happening. But it's fucked up, and I'm sure a lot of people have died. Like, fuck, I don't know the numbers. Nobody knows the numbers. I'm not even gonna try to pretend to, but I'm just speculating here. It's got to be bad. It's bad. I've heard some bad stories, you know. So my whole thing is just like these new world order people. They didn't take into consideration unlimited variables, unlimited variability. They did not take that into consideration at all. And that's why their plans are failing so badly right now, because their planning was dependent on certain fixed variables and potential alternative variable outcomes. And it was planned in think tanks, many minds, planned over a long period of time. But unfortunately, the plan and the people conducting it, they themselves do not have the ability in order to comprehend or mentally process so many unlimited variables at once. So it destroys your plan when you add more variables, a whole ocean of variables you didn't expect into your hypothesis and picture. It fucking destroys it. Your hypothesis immediately becomes incorrect. So that's it's bad. Like, we're watching extreme damage control take place right now. It's bad. Like, I used to think these guys had grace, precision. I thought they were fucking smart. You know, the Illuminati and all these people, and their think tanks and their scientists and whatever. I thought they were smart. I was like, fuck, these guys are evil geniuses, you know. But they're actually fucking stupid. Like, if I wanted to kill everyone on this earth, I'd have a totally different plan. I would take into consideration unlimited variability. Not that I'd ever do that, because it's so totally fucked up. And even if I did that, Earth would correct me, right? God would correct me. God is love, Earth, consciousness, whatever. So the point that I'm making is they fucked up so bad. These people are stupid. Like, I can't believe I ever actually overestimated these people. I overestimated the living shit out of these people. I overestimated every single one of them. And after growing older and growing more conscious and smarter myself, and then watching them, and prolongingly up until this point of realization and awareness, and I look at these people and I'm like, what? These people are fucking stupid. They're fucking dumb. Like, I'm not even going to sit here and express my intelligence at all. Because, first of all, whenever I do that, shit gets stolen, number one. Number two, I don't have to mention. Number three, don't have to mention. Number four, don't have to mention. But I can see these people are fucking stupid. Their scientists don't know what the fuck they're talking about. The analysts, it's so bad. It's like, dude, you've got a whole country of people with seriously low IQs. Not a whole country, a whole fucking world with people's IQs who are so fucking small that they know nothing. And these are the people that we're listening to on a daily we're listening to stupid people make us more fucking stupid. That's what's happening. We're listening to stupid people who we think they are clever, who are actually fucking dumb, and we're listening to what it is they have to say as gospel truth. Like, guys, no wonder the world's raiders, like, these people need to be killed and shot and taken off of any fucking platform. Like, if I had it my way, I'd wipe out all of the electronics, all of technology. I'd wipe technology out. And that is what's going to happen. All technology will be wiped out, by the way. You see, my calculations are way more spot on than these fucking idiots' assumptions. Their science is wrong. I've gone through it. But no nuclear bomb exists. It's impossible to create a nuke. It's actually impossible to create a nuke. It's fucking impossible. It's impossible. Especially with the fucking model of physics they have. Thermonuclear physics. Shut the fuck up. These are just words. Because that's what these people do. All their intelligence is based off of psychological, pseudo-philosophical fucking assumptions and assertions and so forth and so on. That's what it's all based on. All of our science, all of our comprehension, all of our understanding is based off some sort of fucking... It's so bad, guys. It's so bad. The situation Earth is in is so bad. We're getting knowledge from people. That's why. That's the first mistake. Don't get knowledge from people. Especially not on Earth right now, because there's no people that can actually give you any fucking knowledge that is actually going to help fucking end the situation we're in. Like, your knowledge doesn't matter if you can't get it to eliminate your own pain and suffering, and idealistically the pain and suffering of other people, because like, you can't eliminate your pain and suffering and then be surrounded by the pain and suffering of others and not empathetically share that. You see, the people who are running the world, the reason is as to why they will always fail is because their consciousness is so fucking low that their brain's processing capability, brain, hashtag, inverted commas, literally does not have the ability to even come close to processing information fast enough at all, number one. Number two, even if the processing capability within their brain was actually, it's almost like they don't have a temporal lobe. It's not that I really actually care about the anatomy of the human brain, because if I had a sort of room with a neurologist, I would actually go ahead and explain to them that everything you're saying is absolutely fucking incorrect, right? Like, for instance, they say you have a right brain and a left brain. That's total bullshit, total fucking garbage. Literally, like, everything we know is being done by some professor, some this guy, some that guy, they're funded for some research. Like Elon Musk, basically. Elon Musk promises all of this shit, like sci-fi technological fucking breakthrough, and then you find out like his technology is so shit and it's nowhere near anything. Like the guy promised autopilot on his cars for ages, as though he had it. I'm not even gonna get into that. The point is that all the it's so bad, it's so bad, it's so bad, it's so bad, it's so bad. It's so fucking bad, the situation Earth is in. And I'm not speaking about the genocide. Genocide's bad no matter how you look at it. I'm speaking about the reason as to why there is even fucking genocide happening right now and why people don't even fucking know or care. You know the whole Earth doesn't care. The whole Earth actually doesn't care. There are people that care, but the Earth doesn't give a fucking shit. Nobody has any emotion, compassion, empathy, no ability to have any big homogenistic viewpoint that takes into consideration all elements of this conscious reality in which it is that we exist in, including ourselves and the others in which it is that we happen to coexist with. So even if the smart guys like Mr. Elon Musk had the ability to process thought faster, which is so fucking stupid, why would you want to... Anyway, I'm not even going to get into that. Even if they could do that, it wouldn't matter or mean anything because based on their low fucking conscious, like increasing the speed of your thoughts does not increase your consciousness. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like you can think about and also it will destroy your brain. Oh, we're going to put chips into the human brain and then we're essentially going to connect to the... That's bullshit. That's the biggest sci-fi shit I've ever fucking seen in my life. They don't even understand the human brain. They say they understand 20% of the human brain. I reckon it's like 0.0000002% of the human brain, actually, as well as the body. So what are you going to do, bro? Like, you're telling me that the current conventions of science cannot even fully comprehend how it is that a human brain works exactly in conjunction with our consciousness, memory, as well as the rest of our electrical body / consciousness body. And somehow you're going to tell me, bro, that you're going to put a chip into people's head in regards to a brain that you understand 0.2% of, and somehow through some sort of electrical stimulation, you're going to be able to connect what? You're going to be able to connect a mechanical interface with a human brain? What? How? When you don't even understand the fucking brain. And I've gone into a lot of neurology. Neurology is actually psychology, but with some physiological fucking diagrams and anagrams and so forth. There's no fucking proof anywhere. This is what I'm saying. It's so bad. All of the people that are teaching us everything we know, they believe it themselves, number one. Number two, it's all based on people proclaiming their shit and being connected enough in order to put their publications and research forward and basically to get the rest of the fucking tribe to go ahead and agree with the stupid shit they're selling, the Kool-Aid they're selling. So what it is we have is a system of education, fucking society, politics, philosophy, even religion that basically has been constructed by fucking mad people and who have somehow convinced people that their interpretation / model is actually correct. So the whole world thinks we figured out everything. That's total fuck up. You go to school, it's like, this is the brain, this is biology. And you go your whole life, it's like, yo, humans have figured this shit out. Like, but then you start going into the publications, you start going into the research, you start doing this, you start doing that, and you go through your own experiences, and you start realizing these people are speaking absolute bullshit. I don't know what the fuck it is that they're speaking about, actually. Neurological treatment. We're going to basically give you neurological medication. Okay, what you? No, it's bad, guys. It's bad. What? Oh my god, it's bad. So Elon, bro, what are you gonna do? You're gonna put a fucking chip in someone's head, and then, first of all, if you wanted to do that, you wouldn't be using a chip. Number one, it would be completely ineffective. You would have to connect with every single synapse within the brain. If that, there's reason as to why synapses exist and how it is that they transmit electrical information and communication is accurate. First of all, that's the thing. Your whole basis on neurology has to first be accurate. And as far as I'm concerned, within regards to what it is that I know, we, the humans, know nothing about what the brain is and how the brain actually works. Actually. So all this talk about nanotechnology and gene editing and blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. And then there's an atom, a proton, a neuron. And it's like all I've ever seen are like white paper diagrams of this stuff. No one's seen a proton, a neuron. No one's seen an atom. So how, and also, with the birth of this new conceptual, philosophical, ideological framework known as quantum physics, where new concepts of superposition and quantum entanglement and all this shit, more shit that comes out of the mind of some fucking guy high on something, and it's bad, it's so bad. It's so bad, fuck that. The whole earth is fucking insane because we have insane people teaching us lies from the moment you're born. Your religion, your school, everything, all a lie. Society, culture, different subsets of spirituality, philosophy. Like, you can't expect anyone to actually have the truth. Like, the number one truth I know is that I feel love. Like, that is the most amazing truth for me, because it's just who I am, what I am. It's just how I feel closer and more connected to myself and other people. And there's something really beautiful in that. And for me, that is real because it applies to what is important for me, which is my family, and seeing an end towards pain and suffering within people and within life as a whole, not only people, animals and everything. Because I feel that, right? So, feelings are so overlooked because we're so caught within this mechanical, reductionistic, these theoretical frameworks that nobody's actually even proved exist. Nobody's actually gone through every study that you've ever learned and referenced and actually verified and proved that study for themselves. I mean, sure, they speak about peer reviews and whatnot, but really, in this corrupt world, you really think a peer fucking review means anything? What the fuck is a peer review? It's all so fucking corrupt that you can see that corruption in every aspect of our life. You can see that corruption everywhere. And you can expect the corruption in the religion, in the politics, in the science. Because if anything, if you really want to simplify the situation we're in an extremely corrupted state of consciousness. And it's corrupted because of all these lies and confusion. Thanks to people who ultimately have been creating these books, these Bibles, these frameworks, these ideologies, and using that in order to control and own people. And I don't agree with many things at all. Why does the Bible not speak about working to free yourself from slavery? How many times I've had to sit here and do this work I do and go through what I go through, although I've stopped doing that work, by the way. But when I was doing it, putting my life on the line, trying to put an end to things, create awareness, which I heavily succeeded in, by the way, magically, funnily enough. Thankfully enough, fortunately enough. But the point was is that there were moments and times where I was so upset with the world. And I was like, why am I doing this alone? Why is it so fucking hard to get people to care? And people don't give a fuck, dude. People are so wrapped up in the delusions of their own fucking stupid bullshit that it would be so difficult for humans to actually even get along in order to properly cooperate with each other without their extremely unique and sensitive fucking personalities and ideological ways of thinking. It's like you can't even have a conversation with people now without them trying to fucking ideologically push some shit into your head. It's like everyone's got an agenda when they speak to you. Not everyone, of course. It's very sweet and innocent people, but I'm speaking about like, especially the youth and people who are supposedly part of this more aware, conscious woke culture. And the woke culture is a total fucking disease. Because you've got all these kids who think they're fucking special. And you all think you're so fucking great and so fucking amazing. But humans, that's the problem, guys. Humans think we're at the top of the food chain, and I can guarantee you now we're not at the top of the food chain, number one. Nature is at the top of the food chain. Number two, because of how humanity is collective, inflated sense of ego, because that's what we're in right now, consciously speaking. We're in a co-collective narcissistic state of ego, like a huge identity crisis, and also survival. You know, survival prevents people from knowing who and what it is that they're actually. Well, actually, no, I lied. Sorry. Survival is great. Being in a survival state is good. It's very good. It's very healthy, to be honest. And this is the thing: humans are way too complacent. You know, as I said, I can learn more from watching an animal's behavior than I can learn from talking to a human. Because my brain is simple. I'm not here to listen to some extremely long, thought-out ideological bullshit. I just want to know, is this person fucking chill or not? And by chill, I mean, are they respectful? And are they not trying to fucking one-up me and try somehow be competitive? Because humans are so competitive. They're not only tribalistic, if that's even a word. It's not a word, it's a word now. But humans are so tribal. And because of the tribal nature, I wouldn't say in humans, I would say because of the tribal nature, well, we are, never mind, I don't want to complicate it, but because of the tribalism, it breeds competition. And it breeds extremely competitive mindsets. So now, you're living in a world where you feel completely and totally alienated because everyone's constantly trying to compete with each other in order to give themselves a reason to believe that they are worthy of number one, being alive, number two, having a good life, and number three, continuing to live. Now, religion is the reason people have religion's the reason people have such an emotional insufficiency inside of themselves. Because, as I said, the first thing religion teaches you is that you're pathetic, you're worthless, you're full of sin. So you end up thinking that everyone else thinks that's about you. And that is the mindset, perspective, and personality that the whole earth adopts. And then that completely affects everyone's behavior. within regards to how it is that they behave. So everyone is in an extreme emotional insufficiency within themselves, within regards to their ability to have self-acceptance. Because in the back of your head, as I said, you were taught you were a pathetic, worthless sinner from day one. So you had to live with that thought for your whole life. That created massive amounts of depression and self-judgment and guilt. And ruined so many moments in your life that could have been great. But words, because of your emotional disposition caused by your ideological framework, hashtag your beliefs. So I can't blame my parents, I can't blame previous generations. Who I can blame, however, are the evil people who are propagating lies currently right now. Like, I don't live 2,000 years in the past. Never have. Trust me, I never have. Because I feel so like Earth and human behavior is just mind fuck the shit out of me. There's no ways I've been on Earth before. Because shit's too slow. No. Because this human behavior and the history and this cold callousness of humans, I don't understand it. It's alien to me. Like human behavior and the so-called history, it doesn't make sense at all. So I feel like I don't relate to any of that at all because I just don't. You know? And I have went my whole life by going by what a book tells me to do, by going by what someone else tells me to do. And all it's ever done is cause me depression. Like religion has caused me depression a lot. And it's made me very sad for a very long time. Actually. So I'm being very polite in regards to how I actually really feel. Because I feel like my life was robbed from me. Whether it's a fucking judgmental Bible or the society at large, I feel like so many moments were robbed from me. And my emotional quality of life, my happiness, it was robbed and stolen from me. I belong to no one. I bow to no one. I belong to my family though. I love my family. You know, because that's what I have here now. Not some storybook 2,000 years ago or some fucking place I've never seen before. But I'm alive right now. I have my family alive right now. Like after this, I'm gonna call my mom, call my dad. I love them. I believe in eternity. But I don't believe eternity is so fucking complicated as it's been made out to seem, to be very honest with you. I don't think it's complicated. I believe that humans have made it so absolutely complicated. And on the other end, it's like you can't completely blame them because, of course, people would want to know, how did we get here? How are we here? What is the purpose of this? Where does this lead to? Those are important things for people to feel. Some sense of meaning and purpose for their existence so that they can go on living their life being like, yo, you exist for a reason. And you don't have to find that reason. You exist just because you exist. There's no other reason. Because you've been given a gift of life so that you can live. So in many ways, our purpose is quite simply to live. There's so many things that rob us of our ability to live. I believe they'll change. It's not all doom and gloom. I believe big things are on the way. I'll tell you. I believe, by the way, is anyone here? Say hello. How you doing? I believe that there's big shit about to go down. So all the shit I'm speaking about is a bit of a rant. It is. It's also a bit like just speaking about bullshit. I'm just saying whatever comes to my head. But trust me, sometimes I listen to what I'm saying. Like, does that sound like bullshit? Does it not sound like bullshit? No. Anyway, so this big thing's gonna happen on this fucking earth. Oh, I was saying earlier, the cabal, whatever the fuck you want to call them, I don't really give a shit. They're so fucked. It's so bad. Like, if that situation isn't bad on its own, like, for instance, like, they have supply chain issues, massive supply chain issues. They have faced, and this is all over the world, they have faced unprecedented cyber attacks, huge, prolific cyber attacks, and I believe which are being heavily unreported. I believe that a lot of these attacks are happening on a lot of their key IP / corporation-based infrastructure, BlackRock, Vanguard, the banking system, so forth and so on. It's just so dangerous what they're doing. Like migrating to complete digital when you guys don't even completely comprehend the vulnerability of digital infrastructure and information. It's so, oh my God, these guys, it's like every wrong decision they could possibly be making, they are making themselves. You don't even have to do anything at this point. You can just sit back and watch them just literally just burn themselves, to be so totally honest with you, because that's exactly what's happening. Okay, number one, you have people who have been vaccinated who are either dead or families who have lost loved ones and friends who have lost loved ones because of this thing. And, there's dots being connected. There's no way there's no dots being connected in the minds of those that may be a bit asleep towards the possibility that such evil could exist. But, once it hits you and your life, and especially, unfortunately, people who've lost their loved ones, can you imagine? It's a horrible situation to go through. It is sad. But the point that I'm making is like, you can't hide that. Like, you've done this over the whole earth. And somehow you're going to hide that? How the fuck are you going to hide that? Like, they didn't anticipate that people would have given back as much pushback. Like, I believe they expected pushback. They had planned accordingly. They had run certain simulations like Event 202. But as I said, unfortunately, they don't have the computer processing technology nor the cognitive and conscious capability in order to process never-ending variables existing within the mind of man currently right now. And the level of variability is just absolutely fucking insane because of super accelerative consciousness transfiguration. I'm not going to speak about that anyway, but the point is that reality is changing. And because reality is changing, time's speeding up, and the truth is impossible to hide because information is flowing. And when information flows so fast, and people have so much access to so much information, it's only a matter of time before their mind goes through a process of deduction or putting certain links together. It's only a matter of time because the thing is like you're exposing people to a never-ending stream of information. They can't control the information. They are trying to. I mean, the censorship's insane, as you know. But, unfortunately, you can't censor word of mouth. You just can't. And you can't censor the fact that people don't give a shit about government and people don't give a fuck about celebrities. I mean, sure, maybe some teenage kids and this and that, but, people in the fucking real world who are people you should pay mind towards, they don't really give a shit. Like the mind control that they're using on us is failing so bad. It's failing. So my whole thing is like what I'm saying is like their plan has already failed. Like I can see so many steps ahead. And I'm telling you now, they failed so hard. It's fucking insane. It's so bad. And now they're trying to cover their tracks. And they're scared. I can listen and watch their videos, and I can sense fear. Sorry, man. I can sense fear. I can actually sense a lot of fear. Because, like, how do you do all of that stuff and know what you're doing? Because I promise you now, like, everyone who you heard something, who had a platform in 2020 up until now, everyone you heard with the platform, whether it's YouTube, some talk show, some TV show, celebrities, radios, local radio stations, as well as, of course, the governments, the municipalities, and all of these three-letter health organizations and so forth and so on. And there's been so many people through just 2 years. Can you believe it's been 2 fucking years? It's been 2 years. Holy shit, it's been 2 fucking years. And it feels like forever. It's been 2 years. 2020, 2021. It's been 3 years. I'll see. It's been almost 3 years. And if you think it's bad now, it's gonna get worse. But there are some extreme variables in the picture there as well. And these are heavily unaccounted for variables. But basically, first of all, they want to digitize everything. Have they anticipated a completed total EMP and like these? Oh my god, these people don't know what's coming. So you know what? They want to do their whole digital payments and all that. I don't give 2 fucks. I don't give a shit. I can guarantee you now they're not going to work. They're not going to fucking work. What the fuck makes Earth think they're even going to have power then? What makes you think you'll even be able to start a car battery by then? You understand what I'm saying? Because I've calculated some variables, man. I've seen a different picture from the picture these lower conscious fucking idiots are painting. And they're wrong. I'm guarantee you now. Everything I ever said was correct. My whole analysis and everything. And I'm speaking personally for myself, right? Everything I anticipated, calculated correctly within my mind. I was correct. Like my process of deduction, calculation, and analysis is fucking so unbelievably spot on. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's bad. Like, I'm fine. I don't give a shit. I'm living my life. I don't give a fuck. I don't have to do anything. This is the thing. I'm not going to do anything. I'm literally just going to live my life. Because I'm not going to have to do anything. These people are crashing and burning by themselves. They're crashing and they're fucking burning. So it's bad. It's so bad. Like, there's so many variables running through my head right now that are coalescing together, painting an even clearer picture. It's bad. If I was a celebrity or any talking head during these 3 years, Jesus, dude, I'd be shitting myself right now. If I knew what I knew and I was in their position and I was going through these variables in my head, I don't think they would be able to actually be cognizant of it. Maybe some of them are so egotistical that they literally think the show is never going to stop. How can the show not stop when consciousness is heightened so unbelievably so that it's increased the level of variability within certain... Do they... It's so hard to explain, bro. But basically, put it this way, a fucking never-ending infinite stream of constantly fluctuating variables have entered the picture. So these people are trying to calculate reality to you. What reality is going to look like, they don't know. They got no fucking idea. And it's bad because, dude, I just see one outcome. I've gone through everything in my mind. And all I see is one deterministic outcome. And it's bad for the it's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's good. Like, it's really good for Earth. But I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that shit isn't gonna get chaotic. It is, which is the fun part, actually. It's the part I'm most looking forward to. But it's gonna get chaotic. You're not gonna have power on this Earth for maybe 15 years, I would say. And that's gonna have to happen because humans, then their consciousness is so immature. Our consciousness is so immature that we haven't even learned how to live, but now we're trying to further push technology, and we haven't even figured out how to live. And now it's like, okay, well, how do we live with technology? You listen, you haven't even learned to live in the first place. Technology is not going to teach you how to live. It's going to make things worse. People don't know how to fucking live. Now they want to live in a technological fucking dystopia world that's emanated from the creativity of low-end consciousness as certain potential outcomes of what it is that may take place on Earth. The thing is, like, no one's going to destroy Earth, guys. Like, Earth is way stronger than every human combined. You know, at the end of the day, like, it's, you know, and so it's bad. Because what's going to happen now is, I don't even need to tell you. You just find out for yourself. But if I was a celebrity now, or politician, or a radio host, or a doctor, someone that works in one of those pharmacies, or it's so bad. Like, I don't even have to do anything. It's a one-way collision course of human. I don't know how to explain it, but the truth cannot be hidden. It's coming out. It's out. The amounts of damage control you'd have to do for this. And then what are they going to do? Start a world war with fake nukes? Where nobody actually wants to go to war. Especially if it's two well-resourced superpowers. Because people are soft these days, which is a good thing. A very good thing. Because no one's going to go to war. I mean, they'll start smaller wars, and just how they did it before, a big empire steals smaller region of land, and like Risk, basically the board game. You know, hi, 2 viewers here. Please comment in the comment section. I'd love to know who's watching. But it's basically like Risk, the board. At this point, that's actually what's happening. I actually see a huge geopolitical power struggle between all of these countries, actually. Because, so there's a couple things going on right now. Like, it's power grab season, is what it is. So, and you see this happening on a microcosmic and macrocosmic level, all throughout every element of society. It's a free fall within certain government political parties, within these governments themselves, within even corporations, like Elon buying Twitter is a good example. And ultimately, what it is that I see is all of these competing forces. And by when I say competing forces, I mean people who are who have a lust for power. So people who lust after power, right? So it's an interesting situation because, like, what you basically got is you've got the bankers, you've got the Rome and the religious authorities. But the issue is that there's too many different perspectives right now for any of these superpowers to completely agree with each other, the people it is that they're working with. And also, because of the failed plan, per se, the New World Order plan, whatever, it's created a free for all. So, like, every man for themselves. And because of that, it's created like a huge power vacuum where everyone is trying to basically hold on to, keep, or acquire more power. There's only so many players. You know, you've got Russia, China, in the US and Europe, so forth and so on, right? NATO, etc. But the issue is like the whole reason they needed a new world order was to like ensure that it was never any conflict. Like it would be a one world military. I don't know what you need a one world military for, but probably to police the one world. Be so fucked up if they ever did that. If they actually could have the chance to do that, they'd do it. Because people are insane. And I don't know why it is that they have this idea. It's just also elitism. I don't know. It's like they think humans are scum and we need to make the earth better. So let's just go ahead and kill everyone. And then completely rob them of anything, turn them into slaves, and then get them to worship us or give us their adoration and their care and their attention. And then what? And then what? It's like these people don't think ahead. Okay, you accomplished a new world order, cool, and then what? Okay, not that they're ever going to do that, but the point that I'm making is that, like, I would say it's polarized right now. This new world order structure of this, I would say it's polarized. I would say they're all freaking out. Every man for themselves. Everyone's fucking. Come on, guys. What did you just do? You just all basically contributed to mass genocide. All of them. So in the back of their head, like if they have fucking any common sense in their fucking head, and they can actually honestly look at all the potentialities of what could potentially happen going forward, instead of being so adamantly, fervently fixed on this idea that their plan will win no matter what. Well, your plan's failing, guys. So regardless of that, even with the plan they had, when the plan was going well, in the back of their head, if they had any fucking common sense in their head, they would have known that's a bad idea, number one. Number two, they would have known, and especially now, maybe they were so oblivious they thought they had so much power. But actually, what this whole situation did is showed the world how much power the people have. And now the people have hit back and they've hit back hard. So what that's done is made the structure of society extremely fragile. So from an intelligence perspective and a propaganda-based perspective, it's so much more difficult to control their thinking, assumptions, deductions, and concerns. And I'm telling you now that there's just no ways that they've hurt as many people as they have. And the people who have very personal stories and what they believe, I mean, you've just committed mass genocide and you're trying to keep it a secret. That's actually what's happening. So if they think they can keep genocide a secret, wow. I'm not even here I'm not going to go ahead and tell people what's happening. I don't have to. Plus, I don't have the capability to do that anyways. I wanted to build an app before, but I realized total waste of fucking time. This is an inevitable fucking train wreck happening in slow motion. I don't have to do fucking anything. Everything's done. This is a fucking chain reaction of chain reactions, guys. It's bad. And they may not be able to see it now because they're looking at the news and the current state and current conversations. And then again, they're limiting themselves to the amount of variables in which it is that they're using to calculate their current predicament and circumstance and situation, but are so far removed from the average man that there's a huge opportunity for a complete and total blind spot that they're not even completely fucking aware of. Or are aware of. I mean, with all the data, and it is what it is that they have. I mean, they've been tracking everyone, listening to everyone's phone calls, supposedly putting it through some sort of machine learning process. It's like the thing is, it's like I don't even believe in all of that. I don't even believe they have massive surveillance capability either. I just don't. I'm sorry. I believe if they want to target it, yeah, sure. But there's no fucking ways, dude. I mean, I guess you could through social media, certain algorithms. Okay, yeah, you could. But the issue is, it's all being banned on the social media. So then you'd have to resort to phone calls, using a machine learning audio, not phone calls, microphones and camera. Anyway, I'm not even gonna get into that. The point is, it's fucking so bad. But they all try to cover their tracks, bruh. So they're headlining all these other issues, but nobody wants to speak about the real issues, right? Like, yeah, human trafficking is an issue, pedophilia is an issue, the big issues. But like the most relevant issue now is this mass genocide fucking situation that's happening right now. It's the most clear cut, straightforward issue. So therefore it's the most easiest issue to comprehend. It's non-political, has nothing to do with some sort of rollout plan, some sort of intended policy. Like, oh my god, there's so many variables right now. Like, you know how many times they have to keep changing their policies and their current structure that they think is perfect, but has been proven to fail and not work? Like, I'm sorry, but you can't manage 8 billion people's minds in this current day and age. Very hard. And considering what's just happened, they've basically opened up people's minds to the possibility of all sorts of shit. So, I don't know there's people out there fighting, and I'm sure there's many. The good doctors, the good scientists, they're there, they're fighting. They may be quite silenced. I don't know. But, bro. And the thing is that the truth is not what will even bring them their downfall. That's the funny thing. I won't get into what will bring them their downfall. That's a whole other story. But the truth will just show people they've been living a fucking lie. Most importantly, that the fabric of life and society, which is a part of life, is complete and total lie. What has been sold by the corporate media no longer makes sense to people. So they've created a huge disconnect within regards to their communicative strategy, because it's a mess. This is what happens when you hypothesize and experiment. You, with infinite variables, you will get infinite variable based outcomes, which are extremely hard to quantify or calculate. So anybody who's planning from a sense of lower form of consciousness is leading themselves towards their own defeat without even knowing it. The reason as for that is because I don't want to go into complicated details, but people are thinking more now. Everyone, elite, non-elite, everyone's thinking about life a whole lot differently. So in that way, the overall consciousness of Earth has changed, where people are thinking more. Because before it wasn't really about thinking for yourself, it was about having everyone think for you. So even the elites and these guys, they're thinking a lot too. They're constantly thinking. What it is they're thinking about, I don't really know, but I can't tell you that the rate at which it is people thinking, it's speeding up their decision-making process, basically. And it's inviting huge rooms for flaws. If your decision-making process based on your agenda has negative implications towards other people, nature, and the environment around you, you're not thinking consciously. And when you're not thinking consciously, and the consciousness of Earth is hyper accelerating, then you're thinking faster, and you're not feeling enough, then you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make many mistakes. So you don't really have this like infinitely changing and fluctuating realm of uncertain variability to take into consideration. You've also now, with your mistakes in your thinking, you are essentially adding your shit. You're essentially adding it into a situation that already had unlimited variability, and which was already difficult to calculate. Now you're making these split-second decisions, and then you're making that variability even way more difficult to assess ultimately. So you will make mistakes. You'll make many mistakes, actually, because, and I'm not going to explain too much, but basically these guys they're ratting themselves out. Their whole thing is relied on controlling a narrative. But now every narrative is broken. So now they're speedballing off the cuff. They're trying to figure out how to divert people's attention away from what has just occurred and happened. Good sweet day, Jesse, all the way from Canada. Hey, Tiffany. The Great Merge, IOB, the inorganic area of air. AI doesn't exist, I'm sorry. A computer cannot become sentient. I'm sorry. And if a computer could become sentient, we are trillions of years away from that. Because humanity does not understand neurology, therefore does not understand sentience, therefore does not understand consciousness, therefore will never ever know how to make a computer fucking self-aware. Because in order to have self-awareness, you would need sentience and consciousness. They can't create consciousness. Like, you can program that thing as much as you want to, you're not going to program consciousness into it. Also, reality is fluctuating and variating. So AI is a total non-issue because currently right now, there are power outages all over the earth because of the fact that the fabric of reality is changing. Therefore, the traditional physics and engineering capability in which it is that they've relied on is now ultimately becoming materialistically and functionally redundant in its inability to function. Meaning, technology will not be around for much longer, so I wouldn't even think about AI at all. And that's a whole other issue, which I'm not going to get into. But AI is least of my fucking concerns. And it should be least of anyone else's concerns because this is the issue. Like, it's a total non issue. The real issue, as I said, not that it matters because nobody around the world is going to hear me, but I'm going to speak my mind anyway to myself, my small audience. The real issue is mass genocide. There's no other issue other than that. There's mass genocide and slavery. You know, we can keep, and you have to remember, like, all these concepts and ideas of AI and self-driving cars, it's all come from science fiction. All of it. And what I've learned is that we get given more propaganda than anything else. There's so many things that exist that we've been told exist but do not exist. Because I've looked at the IQ and intelligence of humans, I've looked at the presented theoretical scientific equations, and I call bullshit. Okay? No one's seen an atom yet. You know, like, sorry guys, your physics is all wrong. Their physics is wrong. So if their physics is wrong and their comprehension of neurology is wrong, how the fuck are they ever going to be able to actually make AI? How? It is like people underestimate how complicated of a task that would be. They underestimate it. You think building a fucking pyramid is hard? You try to build. No, it's just no. They don't have AI. They have machine learning, program machine learning. That's all they have. That's it. They don't have AI. And also, like the robots they're showcasing, they're pre-programmed. They're fucking pre-programmed. All the AI you've seen is pre-programmed. And it's constantly to keep you in a state of fear and this and that, and to keep you away from the real issues. It's just narrative control, creating new fantastical ideas, beguiling the public into believing these wondrous and wonderful ideas that there's somehow hope in technology. Well, there's no hope in technology at all, actually. And there's a whole lot of other stuff, like, you know, guys, this physics is wrong. And then they want to say, we have quantum physics. But it's like, how can you have quantum physics if the physics you have is wrong? Like, the best your physics has ever been able to do is to be able to work with in regards to certain aspects of engineering and so forth and so on. But, you know, like everything gets wear and tear and breaks down and becomes old. And there's no sustainability. So what that tells you is that many fundamental engineering challenges and issues within regards to so-called physics have not been mastered, have not been accomplished. You know, and ultimately, it's all wrong, everything that they're saying. It's not only the physics, it's a whole scientific body of work that has been presented. It's all wrong. It's all fucking wrong. I don't know how humans have gotten this far. I can tell you this though. These guys are liars. We live in a world where lying is the norm. So if they tell you about AI and they tell you about this and they're lying. They're fucking lying to you. Just like they lied about the atomic bomb and like they're currently lying about the atomic bomb right now. They don't have a fucking nuke. Atoms don't exist. There, I said it. If someone wants to tell me, oh, atoms do exist, fine. Show me an atom that isn't a diagram. Show me one. You understand? Oh, we split the atom and then we created a chain reaction. Splitting the atom is saying, like, basically, oh, you split a water droplet and then you created two water droplets. Oh, what? You split the water and then the water created a fucking insane chain reaction? That's bullshit. Nukes don't exist. So you basically, let me get this. You split the atom, and in splitting the atom, it creates a chain reaction. That's bullshit. Such bullshit. Bullshit. Fuck it all. It's all science fiction and propaganda. All of it is what it is. And ideas of delusionally extreme grandiosity. Self-flattery and grandiosity. It's too many lies. The intelligence of humans slash consciousness is increasing, or their awareness, so it's just impossible. Sorry. You know, they created the internet, which on one level was good, on one level bad. Internet's fucking bad. I'm not gonna lie, it's so bad. Humans haven't even mastered how to get along with each other face to face. Now they're doing it online. It's like, no. Anyway, nature's got a way of sorting itself out. Nature is in control and in charge. I don't care about your technology. I don't care about your ideology, your philosophy. Nature is so much stronger. That's why I say I study animals' behavior more than I'd like to study humans. What happened is she was also just full of shit and lying, Tiffany. Just lies. Lies and lies and more lies. And I just don't even give a shit about that anymore. So let's move on from that. Just fucking lies. So many lies. And that's what it is, a whole bunch of crazy delusional people that have been let out the asylum of life and are walking around fucking insane. Doing a whole lot of crazy shit. And spouting a whole lot of bullshit, getting people to believe shit that is very damaging. So what I say is, it's all just fear. Fear, 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 fear. The thing is, I'm not scared anymore. But they're scared. You know, I'm doing things overtly. I'm in the open. I've got nothing to hide. I'm not even doing any activism or anything like that. I'm just every now and again making a video, expressing my mind to small audiences, very small. So I'm not a threat to them at all. Because I'm just simply not going to do anything. I don't have to do anything. Everything is crumbling. Everything is crumbling. And these guys are ratting out themselves, actually. And they're ratting out themselves in order to cover up the real issue, which is the genocide. But I just see a whole string of events about to happen that are just going to be extremely disappointing for anyone who's evil. Who's evil? So, yeah, I'm going to end this video here. And I'll speak to you guys soon.